Hi, welcome to this video today, which is all about a common problem that beginners have when they come in the Forex markets, and it causes them to lose. What is the problem? The problem is most humans, well, all humans actually, are subject to what is called hyperbolic discounting. Now, in terms of hyperbolic discounting, it helps us in real life, but it's a real danger in the Forex markets. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this concept, I'm going to go through it in detail. It's the way our brain processes information, both recent and older information. And in terms of hyperbolic discounting, it brings out two cognitive biases that will work against us as Forex traders. It'll bring out the availability bias. It will also bring into play recency bias or present bias. Now, in terms of these biases, they work in different ways to cause different types of problems. But all the problems that are caused will see you lose at Forex trading if you do not control your biases. Now, in terms of what I want to do to start is just show you a little video clip where some people are asked a question. They give the logical answer the first time round. Then the question is put into a different context and they all give the wrong illogical answer. And most people would. You'll see why it is such a danger to Forex trading when you watch the video clip. If you don't, I'll explain why it's so dangerous afterwards. Right, here's the video clip. It's only about a minute long. Then we'll be back to discuss.
We asked shoppers in a Chicago mall if they would prefer $100 in a year's time or $102 in a year and a day.
I'll take the $102 in a year and 1 day.
$102.
Year plus a day.
And then I can wait that extra day for the $102.
Yeah, for extra $2.
Yeah,
it really will make me a difference.
I would do the 102 a year and a day from today.
They all made the rational decision.
What's 1 day after a whole year of waiting?
And chose the larger amount. Then they were asked if they would prefer $100 today or $102 tomorrow. The larger amount is still the rational choice. So what did they say?
Oh, I'll take the $100 right now.
I would take $100 today.
I would prefer the $100 today.
Today.
I'm taking $100 today.
The desire for a quick reward
$100 today.
trumps their rational self-interest.
There's something called present bias, that if we have the option of something right now, it's very tempting to go for it.
I'll go back after that short clip there that perfectly illustrates a major problem Forex traders have, which is falling for recency bias, and that will actually be reinforced by availability bias, which I'm going to discuss in a moment. Now, in terms of that clip, obviously when the reward could not be had quickly, the responders are going to go for the bigger amount. When they can get it instantly, though, they're not going to wait that extra day for $1. It's totally illogical, but most people who are asked that question will want the $100 today. Now, in terms of this in Forex trading, obviously it comes into play because most beginners cannot hold profits, okay? They snatch them too soon. And it's because they can, basically. Now, in terms of a lot of Forex traders, they'll be in trades. They're deep down thinking, yeah, that's going to continue to the upside. Trade moves in their favor, but then maybe it chops about a bit, retraces a little bit, and the temptation there to snatch the profit. There's also another psychological problem coming into play, which is we dislike losing twice as much as we like winning, and that is psychologically proven as well. Just think of this example. If I said to you, we'll toss a coin, heads you win, tails you lose $1, okay? How much do you want to take the bet? You're probably going to say $2. So that's just one example. There's many more psychological examples. So if a trader is in a trade and it's not too far away from his entry, not only is he frightened about giving profit back, it could turn into a loss, couldn't it? So best play safe and snatch the profit. It's totally what you shouldn't do, of course, in terms of Forex trading, snatching profits, but it's very difficult to overcome because, when you take a profit, you also get a dopamine hit. Even if it's a small profit, it still feels good. You've relieved pressure on yourself that that profit could become a loss. Now, in terms of this problem, it's even worse when you've got the availability bias in play as well, which I want to discuss next. But just before I discuss the bias, just want to show you a question and a quote on a storyboard, and then we'll come back and discuss in more detail. All right, let's just go through these few points very quickly. Now, in terms of hyperbolic discounting, it basically focuses us on immediacy, okay? And we've seen that in terms of taking action, especially with money. But what about our responses to available information? Now, this is availability bias, and we've got a lot of information that is available to us. A lot of it is sensational, a lot of it is wrong, and we can actually be encouraged to act on the wrong information. Now, let me just pose a simple question, which you can see the answer to, but the question is, which has killed more people in the last 50 years in Australia? Is it shark attacks or parts falling from aircraft? Well, the answer is parts falling from aircraft by double. But you don't hear about that, do you? It's not as sensational as a surfer being attacked by a great white shark. And the media wants sensational stories. Someone getting hit with a bit of debris from an aircraft, isn't that sensational? And, this pervades the media. Sensational stories are put forward. And of course, we live in 24-hour news channel world, and you got to make finance interesting and exciting. You got 24 hours to fill. The media will bombard us with information. Much of it is wrong or sensational, but it's going to appeal to our biases. Now, in terms of financial news, many events reported are sensational. There's plenty of sensational stories that never ever come true. You get a few each week. My favourite one is the death of the USD, which has been around since I first came into finance in 1986, that the dollar is going to disappear and another currency is going to take over. The Japanese yen at one time, then it became the euro. We even had the Chinese one. It hasn't happened. It's probably not going to happen, okay? But it's a story. It's sensational. And there's plenty of them around. And, a lot of the news, even small events, can become really significant, the way the media portray them to traders. So, for example, the US dollar might fall a little bit, maybe 30 pips or something, and then you get a story that has caused the fall, which is housing starts in the US declined. It probably had no impact on the USD. It's really just a bit of noise, but there's a story fitted to it. Every little news story has to have some significance to the media, and a lot of small stories are just built up out of all proportion, when really, the price just moved a little bit. And you've got to think about it. If you're watching a US dollar pair, you've got a little bit of profit, and suddenly you hear, housing starts or the start of the big decline in the US dollar, that's going to tempt you even more to take in a little bit of profit, isn't it? And I think when you see every little news story, it's significant, and it's explained after the event, that gets traders in the kind of frame of mind that they can trade all those small events as well. That is trading noise. Immediacy, news that is current, immediate, sensational, it's available. You can very often act on it, or traders do. Sensational news story, or a story maybe a little less sensational, which is blown out of all proportion. Now, you obviously got to avoid availability bias and filter the right news. So let's discuss that in a little bit more detail. Hi, welcome back after that short summary. Now, in terms of the news, you've got to be very careful with it. You probably gathered from that little summary that I would say only focus on really big news events that could matter. You're not interested in housing starts, for example, more like central bank meetings. One thing I'd recommend that you do in your Forex trading is try and build themes in your mind which are not going to turn around anytime soon. What I mean by that, and I'll give an example, which I did a video a year and a half ago, which is still valid today. In terms of going forward, which is going to be the stronger currency, the Australian dollar or the Canadian dollar? At the time I concluded the Canadian dollar. Why? Because the Canadian economy was doing better than the Australian economy, which was pretty clear. Also, in terms of the trading partners, US main trading partner of Canada doing very well, China main trading partner of Australia not doing so well. That trade has made us thousands of pips. Of course, there were retracements along the way, but every time we've taken the Canadian dollar long, we've done well. And if you look in our member centre at this moment in time, the cross rate section, short Aussie against the CAD, that trade is doing very nicely. That theme is probably going to continue. So try and get those big themes where you don't have to look at every twist and turn of data. Okay, they're going to stay in place for a while. That's just one example. I'll give others in our weekly forecasts. Now, in terms of news, you've got to be careful with it. Take the sensationalism with a bit of pinch of salt, etc. Focus on the big events. But also, what you should do is snatching profits is a problem, as we said earlier. Of course, the news can make you snatch profits, but what will also make you snatch profits if you watch price action too much in front of the screen. You'll immediately get sucked in, and basically you'll see every little twist and turn is important. You'll probably snatch profits too soon or make an impulsive trade, double up or whatever, when you shouldn't. You do not want to be acting on impulse ever in Forex trading. And I think, in terms of the cognitive biases I've discussed, I think if you're aware of them, you can combat them, okay? You just got to keep them in your mind. And we are mesmerized by the present as humans. It's just in our nature. I'll give you an example. How often have you heard this well-worn phrase, live every day like it's your last? It's not really that great advice, really, is it? Because if you took it to the letter, you probably wouldn't go in the shower, you probably wouldn't pay your bills, you probably jack your job in, and your wife's family, you've always hated them, so you may as well tell them. It wouldn't be a very good thing to do, would it, if you took it to the letter? Now, in terms of this video, I think I've covered all the points I need to. Just one I'm going to throw in, actually, because I've actually fallen for the biases I've just been discussing. And I actually thought about it just before I did the video, actually. Just ordered some books on Amazon, and I've ordered them on Prime. So I paid a premium. They'll be here tomorrow, but I'm not going to be able to read them for a good 3 or 4 days. But I'm going to get them early, and I paid a little bit of premium for it. It's not going to damage me too much, but we're all susceptible to wanting something quickly and right now. Right, that is the video for today. Thank you very much for watching me. As usual, take care. Have a good day.